I'm not sure.
It's not on here.
Have to see what happens. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Beer Friday. And of course, it just takes a second to get up to speed here to get everybody in the chat.
Because we've only done this 22nd time.
That's right.
So
now it says it's live. It just beeped my phone.
Okay. Las Vegas Advisor is live.
all right. So how come we can't see it?
I'm not sure.
I'm refreshing.
22nd Beer Friday.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
We might need to refresh it here. But we need a minute for everybody to get into the room anyway before
Now
we get
refresh
going.
it.
So they can see us, but we can't see them, correct?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, there should be one that says...
Yeah, it's on there.
All right.
So nothing,
Is it on yours?
No, I'm not seeing the live.
wouldn't it be that?
It should be, but this is... This
Oh,
one
yeah.
is...
Can you see it, Tanya?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it,
Well, yeah, you should fix it so we can see questions. Okay, so we're on. Cool.
I don't know why it's not on there.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe I should refresh the page and take it back one.
Because if we can't see that, we're not going to be able to see questions.
There we go.
There it is.
All right.
All right. Practice makes perfect. Hey, at least we got the audio turned off.
Had to be something every time, right?
Always. All right, well, good. Lazy dog, woof, woof. I think that's the opening for our show, our live stream, like on several. It's Lazy Dog saying, woof, woof, what's happening?
Good. All right, that's great. Well,
Grab a
here's
beer.
to everybody. Beer Friday 22.
Yep.
We got a couple guests, both named George.
Yep. We got two Georges.
So that's coming up in a little while. Next week, oh, you know what? We got to do beer deliveries. We had a beer delivery today from Robert C., who brought us Michelob Ultra.
Yeah.
We had a beer delivery last week from, I can't remember,
Oh, no.
because he brought us Heineken,
Uh-huh.
and he wrote his name. I said, write your name down there, and I lost the sticky.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. Thank you to you though. But I mean, if you're the one who did it, give your name, put your name up there. We'll give you a shout out. Hey man, we might not make much money from this, but we get lots of beer.
Yeah, we get a lot of beer, and I got the Mick Ultra right here.
Yeah.
In the glass.
Fantastic. So it works really well. Next week we've already shot it. We're going to have Jonathan Jossel is going to be our guest
That's right.
from the Plaza. He's the CEO of the Plaza. Really interesting guy. Smooth as silk, eh?
Yeah, really cool.
Holy mackerel. I watched that thing back and I'm like, man, I look like an idiot compared to this guy. He's just like so cool, just sitting there flipping chips and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
He's sharp.
Yeah, well, he's always been good. He knows he knows how to run a casino, and he's not a big scaredy cat. You know,
No.
he deals with a lot of the advantage players and so forth. Speaking of,
Yep.
our book Advantage Players,
Hey, here we go. It's here.
it's
It's
here.
here. It's in the office. So you got to come visit between 9 and 5, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Yay.
Those of you who have ordered it and waited a long time, you know, it's shipped, right? All orders, all pre-orders have been shipped. Don't feel bad because you got a good deal on it, and you know, now we're selling it for. We always have a small publisher's discount, but it was a deeper discount for all of those who waited. It's a great book. I've been looking through it again. It's just a great book.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, I was holding this. One guy wrote in the comments about this book. He says, "Is this the book that tells the story where James Grostein's team hit the Oklahoma card craps game? I was working there when they did it. I was so impressed with it, I just wanted to shake his hand after that."
Wow. Well, let's hear. I don't know about this story.
Yeah, it is in there. There's a part of it. James Grostein is the guy, basically the GOAT, right?
Yes.
When it comes to advantage players, he's all through this book. There's even a picture of him, believe it or not. There's two pictures of him, one with his face blurred and another where he's got a disguise on. But
Oh, there you go.
Still get kind of a look at Grosjean.
Yeah.
But they went and they found a glitch in Oklahoma. They can't play regular dice. They can't use dice, but they can sort of simulate a dice game using cards.
Oh,
All right?
really? So,
Yeah.
so you pick
They
two
use-
cards.
They use the ace through six.
Yeah.
You know, so they've got two cards like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And they figured a way to beat it.
That's interesting. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the actual whole story of that was written up in the New York Times Magazine by this author, Michael Kaplan.
Interesting.
So parts of that story are in this book, but there's a lot more about Gross Gene in here.
That's so interesting.
I don't know how this guy, he was working there, and he says he was so impressed by it. I don't know how he knew about it. Nobody knew about it.
Oh,
And
so the casino got beat, but they kind of kept it under,
until
under
after,
wraps.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it, and they talk about it here, Grosstein was the mastermind of this whole thing, but he was like a spotter. I mean, he wasn't playing the money, and he was acting like sort of like a derelict, and he was walking with a limp, like what's his name, Spacey, and the
Oh,
Usual
that's
Suspects.
hilarious, yeah.
And there's one thing in the book where they called him AJ, because he told him his name was AJ for Ace Jack.
Uh-huh.
Right? He's always doing things like that. And one time after the play and they got the money and he sticks around, that's typically what you do, on the team. One guy sticks around to clean up and
Wow.
and watch what's going on. But he literally gets up and starts limping around and picking stuff off the ground and putting it in the trash can. They go, look at AJ, he's so cute. He's picking up things. Meanwhile, he's stealing them blind.
Right, he's
And-
distracting them.
He wasn't distracting. It was over. The play was over.
Yeah.
He was just, because they were coming back the next day, and he had made himself a fixture in that casino. So they were
Amazing.
used to seeing him as he sat there. It was like Kaiser Sose, right?
Yeah.
It was the whole Kaiser Sose
He's the
thing.
mastermind.
Yeah. So he's the guy, the cripple, right? He's the cripple walking around.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got it from the movie or what.
He's
but
in a disguise.
yeah, and he's directing the entire play.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's what this book's about. It's full of stories like this. Man, there's some great shit in here.
That sounds
It really
fun.
is. Yeah.
When you said that, I went back to my youth. I remember being really young, going to Pachanga or Morongo. I think it was Morongo, and they had a craps table and they had the cards.
Yeah, they have to do different things because of their rules. I'll tell you a quick Morongo thing. One time they ran something that was ridiculous. Every advantage player in the world was there. I think it was 2-1 on blackjacks. 2-1 on blackjacks, and maybe it might have been 3-1 or something. Just insane. The whole place was just mobbed. I drove all the way out there. Everybody did.
Yeah.
Everybody knew everybody, and there were so many guys there, and some people can't keep their mouth shut. One thing led to another, and they never ran the promotion. They canceled it.
Sure.
And I remember I was so mad because I was so busy, and I drove out to do this.
Yeah.
And I looked back into the rearview mirror, and I saw Morongo, but all I could see was moron go.
Go.
Yeah,
Moron, go here. That's
Moron
so funny.
go.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. As I went out there like an idiot, and everybody blew the play.
That's hilarious, and that's exactly how it's spelled. So you ended up not making money on the play.
No,
You drove
no.
out there, and it got canceled.
Lost gas money.
Ay, ay, ay.
And time.
Yeah.
So that's next. The Advantage Players is out. You can get it at Amazon. You can get it at our website, LasVegasAdvisor.com. Go to our store. Is that all of them, Tanya? Yeah, for now. They're not in bookstores yet. If they're going to be, I don't know. Nobody goes to bookstores much anymore, so we don't really put books in bookstores like we used to. We used to be all over the country, like all the big ones. I sound like Trump. We used to be. We're in every bookstore. We're the best. We're the best bookstore. We're in all bookstores.
Yeah.
But we don't do it that much anymore. So anyway, Amazon and our website, or come to the office. And if you come to the office, you can get a free
Calendar.
Can we see it?
That's right.
Can we see it on there? No, we can't see it. I got to move it over. I don't know.
There we go. Yeah, move it over. Okay, that's
There we go. We talked about this before. This is the 365 days of gambling calendar that we sold pretty well through the, going into the new year, but that window is closed. We got some leftovers. Big portion of the year is gone, but you can still use it, you can still read it, and we're giving them away.
Yeah.
And we didn't do this one. This was done by a woman who goes by the name of Miss Brown, who's also in this book, The
That's
Advantage
right.
Players.
And she's an Advantage player.
Yes, and a very good one. And she said, just give them away to your customers. So anyone who comes into the office, you don't have to buy anything, and we'll give you 365 days of gambling. Somebody wrote to us, again, this was in the comments. He says, how can I get the 365 days of gambling calendar without coming in? I'm willing to pay shipping. So if anybody wants to do that, sure. If you want to pay the shipping cost, just call the office. Talk to one of the operators here, and they'll tell you what the shipping is, and it's going to be $4, $5,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 5 or 6.
And we'll send it to you.
$5. Okay, that sounds like a great deal. I just want to say something about the calendar too, because I just got it myself. So what I did, I went to January 1st, and I read it, and I said, interesting. And I ripped it off, and I threw it in the trash. And then I had another one. I go,
You threw the whole calendar in the trash?
no, it's just the first page. And then I go to the second page because you rip off each day. And so I go to the second page and I go, wow, it was like an interesting fact. I go, that's actually pretty cool. I'm going to save this one.
Yeah.
And then so you start reading it like a book because I have all these days that I got to rip off and I don't want to just rip them off and throw them away. So I read each day. There's like a new thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's worth doing.
You can read it like a book is the point.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's fun.
Gina's smart. She did a good job on the calendar. Her real name's Gina Fiore. It's in the book, so I can say it. But she goes by Miss Brown, but her real name's Gina Fiore. Gina actually has a movie in development right now about her. She sold her life story, and she's a very interesting woman. And come get a calendar.
All right.
All right. One more piece of news for our LVA members. We have a new member rewards online. We just got a new deal. It's a 2-to-1, 2-for-1 a BOGO pizza.
Okay.
At Carnegie Pizza, at the what's it called? The shops, Miracle Mile shops at Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
And now, okay, so our Diamond members, who are the $3 a month, they can get a coupon for a 2-for-1 slice. So if you want to pay $3 a month, you're going to get 2-for-1 pizza for that $3. Our Platinum members, which are the $50, who get the member rewards book and everything else, they get a choice. They can use it and get a slice if they want, or they can get a whole pizza, 2-for-1.
Okay.
So that alone is got to be a $25, $26 value.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all the news.
All right.
And
I used my Palms coupon recently.
Okay.
And I went to the Palms all-you-can-eat buffet with my parents, and we used our coupons. We had a great experience. It was wonderful, and we got there early, and there wasn't really a line.
And saved 40-some bucks or something like that, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we're not kidding. We've got some influencers coming on at the end of the show. One of them did a great video about our coupon package.
Yeah.
And it's the real deal.
Well, people are making fun videos about the coupon book because it's kind of like gambling has variance. So does your results with the coupon book. Some people are going to go grab the coupon book and absolutely kill it in the casinos with these coupons, and other people are going to have different experiences.
Well, the EV, you're talking about the gambling coupons.
Yes.
Obviously, if you're using the food coupons only, or using the show coupons, or you're using save on the resort fees, and we're not trying to make a commercial out of this, but you're going to win no matter what.
Right.
If you use the gambling coupons, then there's risk. But the EV is so strong. You play a casino game and you're playing against 4%, 5%, 6%, whatever. You use one of these coupons and you have an edge of 30%, 35%, 42%.
That's right.
That kind of shit. So you play enough of them, you will not lose.
Well, especially there's a group of coupons that we always talk about every year, and you call them the AI coupons, the any idiot coupons, and those it's about $200 in value that you can't lose.
Right.
So that's really fun.
Yeah. So okay, so that's it. Got any questions we see here that we
Well,
like?
we do have some. I want to say Merla's here. Hi, Merla. And you know who that is. That's code for Gene Scott.
Code for Gene Scott.
Gene Scott is in the house. Hi, Merla.
Isn't that great? Gene Scott tunes in.
I know.
She's drinking her Diet Sprite.
That's
Your
right.
Diet Sprite, tell her to put a little shot of something in there.
Yeah.
Gene. And
Little gin in there, Gene.
and you'll like this so much more. It'll be just so much better.
Yeah.
All right, so let me tell you a story. You were going to tell a story about being recognized.
Oh yeah, I got a good one.
So we get recognized. I don't know if it's as good as mine.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably not. Mine's a quick one.
You tell yours first. Then we'll do
Okay. So real quickie, I was just walking through the casino the other day, and there was a woman, and she yelled at me from a slot machine, maybe 10 feet from where I was standing. She goes, "Hey Andrew, what year is it?"
That's pretty good.
And I told her, I go, "Oh, you must watch the show."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Yeah," and she started laughing, but it was really funny. It was really cute.
For those who don't get it, it's because you always forget to say the year.
That's right.
Whenever you say the date, you always forget to say the year.
Multiple episodes.
And I go, the year of.
The year of, yeah,
And I know.
2024, 23.
Right.
But it was just so funny because she goes, "Hey Andrew, what year is it?" And it was just, it was really sweet. We looked at each other and just cracked up.
Well, mine was at Jackson's Bar.
Okay.
Where we've got a good coupon there. Play 200 coins, coin in, through a machine. You don't have to lose 200. You just play 200 through.
That's right.
So your expected loss on that is about maybe $8.50.
Okay.
Something like that. And you get their complete ribeye steak dinner, which is great.
Yeah.
Right.
So, one of the best in town.
Yeah. So I went in, and I had to go to the bathroom. So I sat down. I got a machine. And the girl, the bartender there, Jade, shout out to Jade, she's just great. she knows I usually have a Heineken, so she brings a Heineken. She sets it down. I'm in the bathroom. I come out, and there's a guy sitting there next to me where there was nobody there when I left, and he goes, "Oh my God, what are the odds?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Sorry." You know, he says, "What are the odds?" He goes, "I came here because of LVA."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I sat down here, and I saw the Heineken, and I went, he drinks Heineken. I wonder if that's..."
No way.
I swear to God.
That's funny.
And I could tell by the way he was so like, he couldn't, he wasn't making this up.
Yeah, yeah.
He literally sat down and goes, "There's a Heineken there, and nobody's sitting there, so maybe that's him."
Maybe that's Anthony Curtis.
Is that
That's
bizarre?
hilarious.
So pretty strong, pretty
Yeah, I like that. That is really funny, and gamblers' superstition.
good. Just wild. But he did it.
Yeah.
He played through. He had his thing. I said, "Yeah, we got to tell this story."
It's a great deal. That ribeye is, at Ellis Island they got the top sirloin steak. At Freedom Beat at the Downtown Grand they have the prime rib. But that ribeye at Jackson's is a really great cut. And if you haven't had, maybe we should get one of the Georges to talk about it. The Angry Greek give a little food review. But,
Yeah, the Angry Greek. I don't know. Have you had that ribeye?
he must have.
Yeah, very good.
Okay. Yeah, you liked it. If you liked it, it must be good.
Considering it's free,
Pretty much, right?
fantastic.
Okay. Any thoughts on the Circa Grandissimo? Does anybody know what that is?
I have no idea what
The
that is.
Circa
What-
Grandissimo. It's either the new sub sandwich in Saginaw's, but it's not.
Okay.
It's the new Survivor. They've added a new football contest,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A third?
a third one. So
Wow.
they're going to have the two that they always have. The first one, Survivor, they've got a $15 million guarantee this year. $15 million guaranteed.
Now, the big question is, do you think that's going to become an overlay?
No, I think people are probably going to fill it up.
Okay.
But here's what they started a new one that they're calling Grandissimo. $100,000 entry fee.
No way.
Yeah.
Who does that?
$100,000 entry fee, maximum 2 entries.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about the second one. I don't know. I mean, like, no. I might get a point or two and somebody's on that thing, but I ain't putting no 100,000 in on.
Okay, but
on
you
that
might,
thing.
but you might become part of a group that gets the money together.
I guarantee you, one way or another, I'll have some piece of somebody in Grandissimo.
Yeah.
But this is going to be the first time they do it. They're guaranteeing only 1.5 million for that because that would take 15 players.
Right.
All right. So who knows how many they're thinking they're going to get? They'll get 20. I'll bet
Okay.
you they'll get 20. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
40.
But 40? You think 40?
It'll be more than you think, I think.
I'll take the
Not
under.
sure.
I'll take the under on that.
38.
It's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a hell of a sweat for anybody who's got 100,000 on the line. What do I think about it? I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And they can do it, and no one's ever going to unseat them as the kings of the football contest.
Is it winner take all or top
It's
three?
winner take all.
Oh God.
Yep,
That's even scarier.
I know.
Yeah. All right, winner take all. Put them on the table.
Oh boy. So yeah, that was just announced like yesterday, and good question.
Well, way to go, Derek Stevens.
Here's Frank B. This is Frank B. that I work with Mattress Mac. Frank is in the Advantage Players book. Message retracted. Thanks, Frank.
That's funny. That is hilarious. Okay, well maybe we'll get some. Chris and Rick from Chicago. You guys are always here. Nice to see you guys. Thank you.
You know who else is always here? David Crabtree.
Yeah.
And I just saw him. Where is it? Go back a little bit.
Back up here.
David was in here. David Crabtree from England was just in last week. And he actually said to me, I don't know what he wrote here, but that's all right if we can't find it. Because here's what he said. He goes, where is it? Oh, he goes, Anthony and Andrew, please discourage anyone from walking to the office from the Strip. It's longer than it says on the maps.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
he walked here from the Strip. I guess he came from Caesars, which is as close as you can get to us.
Yeah.
If he came through the back way,
It's still pretty far.
it's not
yeah.
too bad. If you try to walk around and you got to go over the freeway
Yeah.
in the summer heat,
Yeah.
it's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. I said, we will warn people. He took an Uber back.
I got to tell you, every day I see small groups of people walking over that freeway, and I think to myself the same thing every time. What are you doing?
I know. I know. And, it's not dangerous.
No, it's not. It's just,
I mean,
what are you doing?
there's sidewalks and everything else, but you got to go up and down, and it's hot, and it's,
Yeah.
Yeah. Take an Uber.
Yeah.
Order it in the mail. Whatever. What else we got? You got another one?
That's funny. Adam Exploits, always great to see you. Adam and Chris and Rick, thank you guys for helping control the conversation that goes on.
Sue Johnson right here. Hold on. She says, I got my free calendar. It's a fun read. Plus, you get 365 pieces of scratch paper.
That's right. You can I like looking at them. I posted some of them up on my little vision board on my wall because they're just fun facts. You just want to remember these things about Vegas.
All right. Please hit the like button.
Ocean's One restaurant, is it opening anywhere else?
Oh, yeah, Ocean One. We just talked about that, Andrew, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about that because things open and close and sometimes you don't know. And it took me a little while to figure out that Ocean's One Grill closed. I would always tell people, go there.
Yeah, that's another one in the Miracle Mile shops.
Yeah.
And that was in the Las Vegas Advisor top 10.
Right.
Because it was $5 for everything.
$5.99 breakfast and lunch.
$5 lunch.
Oh, wow.
Everything on the lunch menu was $5, and
Yeah.
these were like full plates and full lunches. They were doing real well, and then they lost their lease,
Oh.
and they claimed they're going to open somewhere else, but no word on that.
So what I tell people to do is go to Blondie's, which is a pretty good deal right there in the Miracle Mile shops. But now that we have the pizza coupon, now we got to send people to go get the pizza.
Yeah, that's even better. Yeah, Blondie's is a good one. They have a cheap breakfast, I think a $5 breakfast, something like that. What's the other one? There's another $5.99 breakfast there.
It was La Salsa Cantina. Yep.
Yeah. And
Bingo, George.
That's a good one. And they also have the $20 all you can drink deal.
Yeah, that's right. People like that.
I think it's 2 hours all you can drink for $20. So, it's just beer and I think, or beer and wine, but great deal. And it's a good sports bar.
Yeah.
Blondie's is nice. I like Blondie's.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Blondie's is right there. Here's a question from the Black Doctor. Did Anthony
Black Doctor.
Did Anthony ever find any beatable swim-up blackjack tables back in the day? Also, what kind of swim trunks did he wear? That's hilarious. The Black Doctor wants to know what kind of trunks you're wearing, Anthony.
Beatable. Well, we'll put these all together. Let's follow this. Let's
Yeah.
follow this line. There was no beatable blackjack.
Right.
Hence, I did not go play it. So I didn't wear any swim trunks.
That's hilarious.
I swam up nude.
Yeah.
No. Actually, you know what? If any blackjack game is beatable if they deal deeply enough and you can vary your bet enough. It's all about, blackjack game's all about, it's about rules and where it starts and everything else, but it's mostly about penetration and bet variation.
Mm-hmm.
So, those games usually, they're really not something that you can go and play big amounts of money, not to mention that, you got to get your money over there without it getting wet, and if it's windy, it's like, they weren't as cool as they sound.
Right.
They were okay. It was good for a bunch of frat kids when they were drunk to sit there and watch their money flowing into it was funny to watch them, but no, I didn't. I never did that. And if I did, the swim trunks would be like those long, like NBA trunks, that kind of deal.
And then here we go. We got Frank B, who wrote a question. Morongo promo was a dealt hand of 13, paid 3-2.
Oh yeah.
Like a blackjack. There were squatters selling seats for 1,000 hours before they start the I don't understand.
Let's see, for
1K hours.
1K hours before they start the promo. He's probably saying, for 1,000 hours before the promo.
Oh, for $1,000 hours before.
Yeah,
okay.
they were so that's what it was. Paid 3-2. If you were dealt a 13, it paid 3-2. See, Frank was there.
Okay.
And I mean, at that time,
Frank was there. Of course he was.
I knew who Frank was, but we didn't hang together. And so I'm like, every guy on Earth and girl on Earth who knew anything about it traveled because it was so powerful. I forget what the number was, something like approaching 20% or something.
Can we talk about the dinner that Frank took us out to at the Italian American Club?
I didn't go. I don't
Oh,
wanna-
that's right.
I wasn't
You
there.
left early. Well, you came for a little while, but you left early.
I had a drink. And
Yeah.
I left. I had a prior or something.
It was so good, I forgot Anthony wasn't even there the whole time.
That was good. Who was there? You were there. Krakenberger was there.
Right, it
We're
was-
gonna
it
we're
was
gonna have Bill Krakenberger.
Bill
on the show.
Krakenberger there. It was Steve Fezzik was there.
Steve Fezzik.
Frank B's son. I mean, it was
Paul Bovey was there.
Yeah, right, Paul. I sat
Paul-
next to Paul.
Yeah, Paul was one of the guys that was down to the last 20 or so in the last Survivor.
Oh wow, really?
I had a piece.
We didn't talk about that.
I had a piece of Paul on the side.
Okay.
And we went out on that horrible thing when the Giants scored a whole bunch of points, but the Giants never scored points and they beat the Colts.
Yeah.
And we got knocked out on that one.
Well, what happened if you
Yeah,
watch the
knocked out.
show and you remember that there was a bet that was made on this show when Frank B and Fezzik posted their bets for the Super Bowl, and
That was the payoff.
right, that was the payoff. So that's the dinner that I'm referencing.
Yeah, and how much did you like? A lot of people go, that the snooty guys like the Angry Greek would go that the Italian American club's not good.
Oh, well,
My
it
mom's
was
Italian. What do you want? Thanks for the invite, by the way.
it was fantastic. The
I liked
food,
it.
the service, the
I
people.
love that place.
The Humphrey Bogart, statue.
I know.
It was just great. Everything about it was great. The people were there. I got recognized on the way in. People said, "Hey, Andrew, LVA."
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great place. I love going there.
And then I told him, I said, "Hey, Anthony's at the bar," and I told him. So that's right, because you were there in the beginning.
Yeah, I remember. I forget what I had to do, but I had to leave. I wasn't able to do that one.
You had to go review something at the Rio.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, the new show at the Rio.
Yeah.
Which was the Empire Strips Back. It's a burlesque show at the
Yeah.
Rio, which is not bad. It's pretty good.
All right.
I like burlesque shows, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of funny seeing Darth Vader come out and strip, you know.
That's not.
And it was a girl. It wasn't a guy. It was
Yeah.
It was a girl underneath the Darth Vader stuff.
Like, oh, Darth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, please, Angry Greek, bring it.
All right, let's do it.
What else we got?
Vegas Girl Slots, thank you for watching. She wrote a note that she's coming to Vegas.
Thank
Vegas
you.
Girl Slots.
Thank you.
Anthony, someone please feed Anthony. Didn't you teach me beer is food when we started gambling?
Beer
Like
is
when you
food.
started teaching me how to gamble.
I think they're
It was,
making. I think they're making a comment about skeletal appearance or something. I believe that's what it was. So,
We've got about 5 minutes.
was that?
5 minutes till.
Till 4:30.
Really already?
Yeah.
Things going fast.
Everyone, please hit the like button. Thank you.
Okay, here's one. Let me. I'll grab this one while you're looking.
Okay.
I always come with a few prepared ones. It says, "How about doing a show on the best sports and race and sports books in Vegas? I love South Point. You can smoke a cigar and play the ponies at the same time. Really good deli there." Yes, we hate South Point, but damn it, they're good at everything.
Yeah, they are. They're a good value, right?
Yeah, the sports book there is terrific. That deli, Del Mar Deli, really good. Good matzo ball soup,
Yeah.
good pastrami sandwiches, the whole thing.
Garden buffet's not bad either. Good
Yeah,
deal.
But that's not the sports book. But, however, here's what I wrote down on this to answer this question. Blair Rodman, who is writing the book all about sports betting and did our book Kill Phil, wrote to me and Frank B. He was on a three-way. And he says, "Man, I got a whole lot of comps at Westgate." And he goes, "I mean, I bet there." He goes, "I bet hundreds there, but usually you just don't accrue comps." And Frank knew the answer to this. He goes, "There's nobody better for sportsbook comps than a Westgate." He goes,
Interesting.
"The number typically in a sportsbook you might get 1/10 of 1%, 0.1%. You might. Some of them are less than that. So you just can't accrue comps through sports because the edge is too small for them to
Right.
give away a lot. 4.25% that's ridiculous. Or is it 0.425? I don't know. Frank, was it 0.425 or 4.25? That's just like, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
absolutely, it's almost like, you almost want to take a lesser line if they're paying that kind of,
Once you over, that's positive.
I mean, yeah, it
At that
can't
point.
be 4.25. I think it's 0.425. I'm almost sure that has to be it. But still, that's a lot. It's, put it this way, it's 4 times more than the average.
That's really cool.
So-
and that's good to know.
Yeah, good info.
and
yeah,
we
it's got
talk
to be,
about-
0.425. It has to be. So, okay.
And we talk about the Westgate all the time because they got great stuff there. They got that great show, the Jen Kramer show.
Yep.
Somebody's asking if Bill Krackomberger is going to be on the show. He is. We talked to him about it at dinner. We're going to get him, and we're really excited. And
Here's another one. Anthony not looking very healthy. Everything okay?
is everything okay, Anthony? Are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. You got it. Everything's good.
Sorry for the fitness, guys. What can I say?
That's funny. Take a shortcut through the storm drains. That's funny. Like with a camera or something?
No, for walking here.
Oh, for walking here.
okay.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay.
Here's one that says, "You look great, Anthony." Andrew, well, I feel you.
I like it.
I go out all night sometimes, you know.
It must be these 16-hour days. Maybe that's what it is for me. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe that's what the deal is. Okay, what else?
Do I play Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club? When they book me, call them. So tell them that you know I submit myself.
Yeah, I've seen you there.
I've been there a few times. Yeah,
You submit yourself? You
Yeah.
go on stage and like choke yourself out?
yeah, I do. It's what is it? The auto asphyxiation. That's my act.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the David Carradine, exactly.
It's the Kill Bill.
Yeah, it's just except it's with a microphone cable around my neck.
Whoops.
all right. Let's see. Any further news on Fontainebleau laying off and reducing hours for table games dealers? I haven't heard anything different about that, but I've also heard that they just don't have any gaming traffic. You know, they just don't have people that play there much. I mean, I'm sure they do on the weekends and all. We talked about it before. They just, they want to be the fanciest hotel in Vegas, and they just might be. My kid just stayed there. My kid was visiting from Lake Tahoe, and he and his girlfriend stayed there. He said it was awesome, completely awesome, but he doesn't gamble, so he loved it.
Right.
My kid doesn't gamble. I mean, where'd that DNA go?
That's so funny.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
He has no interest whatsoever. But anyway, I haven't heard anything like, yeah. What you hear about trouble, and it's a shame, is Resorts World. I don't hate Resorts World,
I like it.
They're just having problems there.
Yeah.
They're going to sponsor a launch party for this book and everything.
good.
I like them, but anyway, that's all. No new information about Fontainebleau.
Well, I'll tell you what. I went to Resorts World recently, and they have 5-cent denom Ultimate X video poker at the bar, and they have 5-cent 20-card Keno at the bar, and I was getting comped Don Julio. So, hello.
For nickel play.
Yeah. I mean, I still had like 40 to 60 in the game. It's still not, I'm not saying I'm playing 5 cents a hand. I'm playing, 5-cent denom, and I'm playing multi-line video poker. So it's, I'm still playing a few dollars a pull, but
Right.
you don't have to. And that's a good deal.
All right, so speaking of Andrew stuff, here's one that somebody put in the comments. Need another Andrew slots video.
Yeah, we do.
Are we going to get any more?
We do, yeah. I got them in the pipeline.
Andrew, the
sorry.
one and done man?
Oh, boy, that's not good.
The one and done?
That's not good, yeah. The problem is it's hard to get videos that are intriguing. Like the one that I got was such a big hit. You got
know.
99 re-triggers, and it's like I'm just trying to get something that's better than that. And
You got to be careful what you start. You got to make sure the momentum's going to be in there. I know a girl who's tried to paint a fence once, and it's just like,
I think I know that girl.
Tanya's laughing.
You do.
Tanya's laughing in the back.
Not me.
The answer is that there are more videos in the pipe. I got some really good ones. It's just,
People like them.
they're coming.
And
yeah.
I'm like, I'm not involved with that because it didn't look sustainable to me.
Right.
And it looked like a lot of work, just like what you just said. And so I said, do it, Andrew, do it. Put it
Yeah.
on our channel
Yeah.
and do it. And you love it. You love the slots. I despise slots.
I
for the
love
most
playing
part.
slots. Yeah, they're fun. They're really fun. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
Auto, walk away, come back.
You might like it better if you read through Gambling 102 and looked at the advantage play and said, I'm just going to go play these for a day on a date and have fun. And I bet you'd like it.
You're saying I should read that book that I've edited like how many times?
No, I'm saying I'm saying you should take the chapter and say, I'm just going to play these games and walk through the casino on a Friday night and have some fun.
Well, I am going to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
our other book, Breaking the Slot Code.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That's like
That's
the next one that's going to have to come out. Me and the author have to get together.
People
on
are excited
that.
about that one.
I know. And we're going to open a website, a sister website to LasVegasAdvisor.com about the Advantage slots.
Okay.
We're going to do that. That's the next big promo. I mean, the next big project after we get Advantage players.
Do you see how the worm's
here.
turning? He's starting to warm up towards slots.
Oh, that's
It was a rough start, but I think he's
That's a little different. That's a little different. Okay, one more, and then we're going to bring out our guests.
Okay.
Okay. We're at about 35 or 40.
Yeah.
yeah, we're at 34.
Okay, I just had to do this. I don't look, anybody can say whatever they want for the most part. Anthony looks like a stick man. Whatever. I don't care. We don't take any of this stuff out of there. But this is bad. Somebody put this on here.
Yeah.
It says this was a comment on the Bob Dancer when we had the Bob Dancer interview.
Oh.
And I'm not going to put this guy down because I'll talk about it in a minute. He says, baloney. Video poker is not a random game of cards. You can take the math, return of game, and perfect strategy and throw it out the window. My advice for any casual video poker player is to play within your means and have fun. Maybe it will be your lucky day. Sorry, man, you're wrong.
You're very wrong.
Stay within your means, yes. That's a good part of that. And the guy he's well-intentioned.
But you have to play.
He's saying there's no strategy. He's saying the games are rigged. If the games are rigged, why will you play at all? If you just have no chance of winning, he's saying you might get lucky. That's not true. These games are random.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about these things, we explain that. And the reason we talk about these strategies are because these games are beatable.
That's right.
And I can't tell you how many times I've sat and thought, am I doing the wrong thing by kind of like Pied Pipering people into gambling, right? Am I doing the wrong thing by saying, this, and this? Am I hurting people, right? And the fact is, people have made fortunes playing the right way.
Yeah.
And so they're going to do it
Bob
anyway.
Dancer being one of them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and they're going to do it anyway. So people should have the right to do what they want to do, for one. But what we do is we tell you how to do it the right way. And to say it's baloney is completely off base, and you are wrong.
Well, we had a conversation that reminds me of this a little bit, where I said, and it was about holding a Jack 10. And holding a Jack 10 is typically the wrong move.
No,
But,
well, Jack 10 or King, or like King or Ace 10.
well, if
You
you're
think Ace 10, because Jack 10 is usually right.
if you're playing double.
No, Ace 10 is what you're thinking.
Maybe it's ace. Whatever
Yeah.
the conversation was, the answer was, well, if you do that, you're playing wrong, and you'll lose more over time. But yeah, you might hit more royals.
Yes,
but how often?
Ace 10 was the discussion.
Okay.
All right, because some people will hold an Ace 10 suited.
Right.
Because they go, well, that's how I hit the royal.
Right.
And if you hold the Ace 10 suited, you will hit more royals than the guy who does not. But over time, you'll lose more money. So it's all about that.
But like in a game like bonus poker, you wouldn't hold a Jack 10 suited over a Jack Queen or a Jack King or a Jack Ace unsuited.
It's a different game. Well, no, you would usually not hold the Jack 10 suited over something like a different, like a Queen Jack suited or something like that. It's different. It moves around. But I mean, like you would hold a Jack 10 suited over a King Jack,
Right.
or something like that.
Okay.
Typically, usually. So anyway, whatever.
Hey, Gene Scott, are you going nuts right
Yeah,
now? Do you want to
Gene.
get?
Gene, tell us, put it on there, Gene. Synopsize it for us, summarize it for us. Okay, let's bring in our guests.
All right, let's do it.
Can we bring them in?
Yep.
Let's bring in the Georges.
What are we going to do? We're going to put you guys on the inside?
Maybe we'll widen the camera angle just a little bit. I'll move over.
Let the good-looking George get it. Let's get him right in the middle here.
All right.
Chairs over there, so it's cracked.
So, guys, we got two Georges coming in. George Antonakis, which our audience knows, the angry Greek who gambles all over town,
also
professional
Italian.
poker player,
Yeah.
and has a appetite for food.
Yes, he considers himself an expert on dining in restaurants.
Wait,
I
you don't
don't.
consider me that?
No, I consider you. You're like
Where do you want us to?
you're right there, man.
I'm right.
Okay, here, do it like this. Get those two guys in here.
I mean, there
and-
should be plenty of room since Anthony's basically been called a skeleton by everyone.
Yes, that's right. There's all kinds of room for for big people.
Oh, it's Dan and Heather who brought the Heineken, guys. It's Dan and Heather.
Dan and Heather.
Yeah, they're my friends that I wanted to come see that day.
Oh.
Dan and Heather.
That's right.
Thank you guys.
All
I'm
right.
sorry I missed you on this trip.
And I'm sorry.
Dan and Heather.
And I'm sorry that I forgot that I got it wrong. I mean, I had it and then I didn't.
I got a good story about being recognized. Can you even believe this?
Yeah.
All right. Before
From this show?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I just broke. Did I break?
Yeah,
Okay, so
you
as you're getting, all right, that's all right. Andrew, you got to move around a little bit. Everybody,
Did I actually break?
everybody,
No, you
scoot
did.
to the left a little bit.
All right.
All right,
I feel
so
very
here we have the Angry Greek,
Closer now.
very
George
pretty woman.
Antonakis, and here we have George Martinez, he does the podcast Vegas Must Try. And
That's
we're-
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're going to talk to you a little bit. I mean, George, it's going to be hard, George and George. Okay, so George M. did an unbelievable video going around with his wife and doing the Las Vegas Advisor Member Rewards book, which you can see in our list, right? We've got it down there, right, Tanya? What's the area that we call it? What's it called? I forget. But it's anyway, if you go to our website and you go to the link, or you go to YouTube and you go to the link of all of our videos, it's in there somewhere. Ugh, that was worthless.
Listen, Vegas Must Try. You got to go check this guy out. Really great at food, hotels, everything. He does everything in Vegas. So
Good, thank
it's
you.
a very good. He's the man, basically. You know?
Thank you for bailing out Skeleton.
Wait, we got this guy. We got him. We got him.
And you're across all platforms, right? You check out Vegas Must Try on YouTube,
Yeah,
Instagram,
pretty much everything. TikTok,
Facebook, TikTok, yeah.
Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
Yeah, and so all right, I asked you before. I mean, I've seen a couple of your videos, but I haven't watched, a lot of them because I'm trying to make our own work. But it seems like you're more into the restaurants, but not necessarily. You just kind of look for all good things in Vegas, right? Sort of like we do, but not so much on the gambling, more on the other things, ancillary.
Yeah, honestly, and it is basically just because of funds. I don't want to run out of funds, and with food, I can eat food, and I still win. I'll make the video and I win. But if I do, like, I tried starting a slot channel because
Yeah.
those got really popular. I just couldn't take the hits.
Yeah.
That it's like demoralizing, losing a couple $100. Like all right, I got a video, but no one's gonna want to watch that.
Right.
It's hard to make a good slot video.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's why you want to look at it. Go to Vegas Must Try. Check out some of his videos because the production values. After watching this, you're going to look at that and you're going to go, "What's wrong with us?" Right? I mean, your production values are just fabulous. I mean, it's just
Appreciate it.
really,
Thank you.
really good. And you did us proud with your analysis of the book. It was really great. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I actually, when George and I first connected, I was like, yeah, I gotta tell people. I feel like this is gonna be an easy sell, and yeah, I mean, I just gotta show people what you've been working on, and you and your team have been working on for decades now.
Forever, decades,
Yeah.
truly decades.
So yeah, I think it's really good value, and it's also fun. Like I pitched the idea to George. I was like, what if I did like a scavenger hunty kind of thing, like. I feel like that's kind of cool. Like people actually, number one, you have to know whether it's legit or not because there's a ton of things in Vegas you have to know, like if it's you have to validate it. So I have a feeling like I have a good rapport with my people and they'll understand like if I do it, it's legit. So yeah, I just had to show people how to bring it in front of more people.
See, I love that. That's it's like it's third-party endorsement, and it's like a lot of things with the member rewards. And again, I'm not trying to make this a commercial. I'm really not. It's just like.
Let me make
People-
it a commercial.
well,
then.
yeah, people-
like if you talk about it, it's like self-aggrandizing, right?
I know, and the thing is like we work so hard on it to make a good value, right? And people go, no, it can't be true, can't be true. So it's like the third-party endorsement's really strong. And
Yeah.
it's like the best idea we ever had. Somebody came up to me and said, I can do some stuff for you. I said, no, you can't. He goes, yeah, I can. Right? Is that right?
Yeah, but did you get a top salesman of the year plaque? No, he's like, he goes, you're not going to do anything. I was like, yeah, well. But
Pretty good. Doing pretty well. Tell us,
it's easy with these guys like this.
well,
Savants.
again, people, you know what? You got to find people who are good at what they do. And
Of course.
production is, like I say, it was great to watch. World Series Poker
Oh,
coming up.
coming up in a week.
Tell us about it. What are you going to do, man?
I don't know, probably lose a bunch of money. That's the most likely outcome.
It's a high variance
That's-
endeavor,
yeah.
isn't it?
Most likely outcome, I lose a bunch of money. Small chance you win a ton, but hey.
There's the angry Greek's girlfriend is sitting in the back, and she's shaking her head. Yep.
The good thing is, when she told me how bad I sucked and I should quit poker, like 2 weeks later, I won a tournament, and I was like, yeah, what do you think of that? So the more negative she is, I think that's good for me. We'll see.
Am I crazy, or did you win 11 grand last year?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
It's hard. It's
That sounds good.
I was just thinking like, oh man, I went to day 3 of this one, and then I took a horrible beat in the main event.
What you're still talking about 1 year
Oh, I'll
later?
never, I'll never get over it, man.
We talk about it
I'll
on
never
the
get
show.
over it. Never get over it. No one wants to hear a bad beat story. I'm just saying I'll never get over it.
Every once in a
They
while,
go
he brings it
forever.
up out of nowhere. I'm like, that again? Are you serious? He goes, you got to admit, that was terrible. I'm like,
traumatic.
Whatever.
He's like, I don't care. I don't play poker.
Yeah, how
It's
about
like there's no advantage.
how about the Colts losing to the Giants with 2 weeks to go? And so shut up.
Oh, what do you mean? I had a small piece of you, so I was
That's
upset
right.
as well.
You did.
I was riding with you on that.
Oh my God.
Ugh,
We
gross.
rode right into
Yeah.
oblivion.
After 12 weeks.
Any
or
questions there we want to handle?
Not really. They want to know if Andrew would do a Kill Tony show.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'd love to do a Kill Tony. He does Resorts World.
Isn't that me?
Yeah, that's what they mean.
Well, no, I'd love to do the actual Kill Tony Hinchcliffe. I'd love to, be on that. That would be great.
You're a comic?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Because I heard you guys talking about that earlier. I was like, that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
I'm at Wise Guys on a lot of Wednesday nights.
Oh, no
and then
way.
Sometimes at the LA Comedy Club when they book me.
Love that.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
I gotta go watch you.
I had George. I had George out to an LA Comedy Club.
Yeah, we
Sure.
came. It was
Not
good.
that-
It was a good
not
time.
that long ago.
It was a good time. The Strat is back, baby.
Strat's fun.
The
yeah.
Strat's back.
It was me. I was opening for Butch Bradley, which is a really fun
Yeah,
show.
you guys were good, man. You guys were good.
You want to see that super chat?
Oh, wow. It says, do influential slot players get special treatment from the casinos for advertising where they are? Seems like they get some kind of kickback. Yeah.
Okay,
we talked about this.
Who? What's the name? Give the shout.
Robert.
This is Robert Essene.
SNC?
Yeah. I'm dyslexic. It looks like Robert Essence to me. Yeah.
SNC, I think
yeah.
that's it.
All right, so
SNC,
I
yeah.
think the question is going to be answered next week with Jonathan Jossel.
Right.
Because we have a whole thing where we talked to Jossel about influencers, because the Plaza was the first to embrace the influencers in, what's his name?
Brian Christopher.
Yeah, Brian Christopher.
Yeah.
And I asked Jonathan, I go, well, or I said to Jonathan, I didn't ask him, I made a statement. I said, well, these guys play on their own money, huh? He's like, not really.
Right.
Right? It was
wow.
almost like he didn't want to say it. Now, you get somebody like Vegas Matt, who they do. They play
Yeah.
on their own money. He made that clear. And I think Christopher said the same thing. He plays on his own money. But Jossel says, not all the time, or
Yeah, he
even
said-
normally. So I
Wow.
mean, yeah, you want to watch that. Jonathan,
I
like I
would-
say, Jonathan was terrific.
I would think if this was 2 years ago, it would be every slot player's on their own money. And now, like, there's probably a lot more house players than you would think. It seems to have really kind of shifted in the last few year, 24 months, whatever.
It's funny. He was like very sheepish to say it in a way.
Like, we're paying
but
people
but
now.
he was kind of like, no. And I mean, that's what I like about Jonathan. He's like honest. He comes across,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I just watched that show that's going to air next week, and he didn't hold back. Jonathan's in this book, Advantage Players.
That's right. There's a
Right.
story about.
We read a clip of it,
That's right.
out of it. But he says no, they are getting paid, many of them, and making money. So maybe there's an opening for you, George.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, sign me up. But, I mean, as far as I
Jonathan's
know,
watching. Get him out there.
yeah, I'm friends with a couple of the slot players, and as far as I know, they use their own money because they make so much money from ad revenue.
Right.
So it kind of makes sense. If I was able to kind of finance that channel with my other channel, I can definitely see them doing it as well.
Yeah.
Because they get money from Facebook, YouTube, and then whatever other ventures they may have on the side.
That was the interesting thing about Vegas Matt, is he said point blank, he was like, no, we lost 360,000 last year
Yeah.
playing. And I go, but you made that up in spades with all of the platforms and the money you make in the average and all the merch and everything else. He's like, absolutely, that is the business plan.
Yeah.
And
He
also
probably
said-
had a good year for how much he bets. I've seen how much he
yes.
bets.
Oh, I
like
agree.
losing 300, 400K is probably like he's running above expectations.
Yes, you're right.
No, you're
He
not.
had a good year losing 300K. Like it's crazy.
We lose that almost playing bar bonuses sometimes, it seems.
Had a rough go of it lately. It's tough out there. It's tough out there, guys.
It is. We're punching. We keep trying.
They want to know how George got started on YouTube.
On YouTube. So it was my senior year in college. I was in a journalism class because I was in a marketing wing of journalism, media studies, and I had to make a multimedia video or like audio or something like a podcast or something. A lot of people are doing sad stories, like I'm going to interview a homeless guy. I'm going to interview like a DACA recipient.
Hell no.
So I was like, you know what? So I'm like a marketing guy. I was like, hey, I went to my professor and I was like, can I just make like the best places to eat or my favorite places in Vegas? They're like, yeah. So the video was like, I don't know, like 15 minutes long. I went to like 2 desserts, 2 dinners, whatever, all that stuff. So the flash drive I had only had like 2 gigs or something like that. So I was like, I'm just gonna upload it on YouTube. So I did that. I titled it. I mean, it was like a second, like two. I had the idea that it could potentially be a video.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I went back on a couple of weeks later, sorry, I had like 300 views. I was like, oh, maybe I can make YouTube videos. So then
300.
I was like, I had 300. I was like, that's great.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
I'm great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was enough because I know I only told like 20 people to watch it, but the other people it was organic. So I just made another one and another one, and those videos are horrible. If you scroll back at the end of my channel, you might see them. I might have like put them away.
Well, aren't you up close to 60,000 now subscribers?
Yeah,
right?
something like that. It's like in the 50s, but like nearing that.
3 times what we are. So we're like,
Our first video got 20,000 hits. You remember that first video we
first
did with
video.
you?
They're like, yeah, let's see what Anthony Curtis has got, and they went,
No, it got 20,000 hits. It was.
I know, but I said, but if it didn't maintain, they didn't come back. I mean, what did that tell you? I know, we thought we were flying. We did our first one. We had 20,000.
You pulled out a loan. You're like, let's
Yeah.
buy another building.
That's still one of the top videos of all time. Like, you know.
We're gonna kick some ass here. Nah. Too skinny.
Yeah. That's funny. Any thoughts about maybe ranking the strip casinos that you guys know? Any ranking strip of any of?
What is that for? For gambling?
Yeah, you could rank
Oh,
them
yeah,
for
you
all
could rank
kinds
them
of
for
different
different things.
things.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
You could rank them for sportsbook. You could rank them for their blackjack games. You could rank them for their overall looseness. Like
about
again,
overall resorts, like just the if
Yeah.
you're gonna stay at one place.
okay. So how do you?
Always the win, man. It's always the win, I think, right? Do you have something different?
I'm
I think
in-
it's
I'm-
always the win
I'm in
for
a
every
different
answer.
tax bracket. I've never actually stayed at the win. But I mean, from an outsider's perspective, yes, it does look like it'd be amazing because the restaurants there are great.
Very difficult to try to put anybody. If you want to talk about overall unbelievable experience, very difficult to put anything above the win.
Sportsbook Circa is by far the best in probably the world, definitely in the United States, not even close.
What about-
And I don't think they care about sports other than soccer anywhere else. So
No, well, what about that 0.4% at
Westgate.
Westgate on the comps?
no.
No.
I like Westgate's great.
Westgate is
Circa is by far the best book in the world, and you could fight over Westgate or where's the sleeper is Durango.
Oh, cool.
Durango's the
me
sleeper.
a
Come on.
break.
What?
Stations? You're talking about?
I know you hate it. You don't.
I'm talking about stations.
Talking about pure setting, atmosphere, food.
I mean, I'm talking about like lines.
You're talking
and
about
stuff.
comps and stuff. No. I'm talking about experience for the average person.
Okay. All right.
I'm a sports betting sucker, man. I want to go somewhere nice. I'm not sharp,
I get. All right. I that's fine. I'll tell you what. Another thing good about Circa, if you want to bet futures, I mean, futures are. It's a big dig, man. I mean, they're like taking 30% out of you when you're betting futures,
Yeah,
but you get value through the whole season, that kind of thing. Circa futures are better than most. Almost always, you'll find a better line at Circa. They've got a more narrow straddle on their bets.
You got to shop those, like your guy Crack. I give a shout out to the Crack man. He gives you guys shout outs a lot. I watch his pod, but Circa's obviously sharp. Some other places aren't.
Crackman's great. We're gonna have
Yeah.
him on.
Yeah.
We're gonna absolutely have him on.
We need more John Orlando picks because we fade that. We fade. Sorry, John. Sorry.
Oh, I love it. How's our timing?
8
about
minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh, we got 10 minutes left?
Maybe we'll go
my
long. You
God.
never know. We got look at this. We got VIP here today.
You have a hard
Food, George.
cutoff.
What's that?
Said you better talk about some food.
We got 2 Georges. This guy George knows his food too.
That's right. We need a triple George.
He's-
A triple George
he's
steakhouse.
in.
Yeah, we need
two-
one more George, and we can get some free food at
Does,
Triple George.
does anyone know if that's a
Any
real
Georges
thing?
here?
Did we talk about this?
Call
Can you
down
get
see if Paul will bring up some more beers.
food with-
Everybody's running out.
She's getting
Oh,
it.
is this it?
I got a beer right here.
Yeah.
Who needs it?
Yeah, speaking, I'll take it.
This
I'll
guy
take
says,
it
I
also.
heard, sorry, Bean says, I heard Circa doesn't ban sharps from their book. Is that correct?
Who sharps?
Mm,
What is that?
Where's Frank?
Thank you so much.
I would want
Where's Frank B?
I would want to say
Quickly
they
up.
probably use the information to their advantage, but cap them at, I think they cap them like 500 a game or something. I don't know.
You know what? That's always been. Derek Stevens has always said that we're going to deal to everybody.
Thank you.
And I think that
Thanks, sir.
probably to most degree that they probably don't. They probably deal to everybody. They might at one point stop. I know that they took action from us with Mattress Mac. I know they did. They took. We had big bets that we were able to put down there, including I think $1 million wager. I think one. Half, when we did that.
See, it depends. If it's World Series or Super Bowl, they're going to let you put whatever you want down. If it's college basketball in October, they're going to probably cap you, right? Like
Yeah.
where the huge edge, where the lines aren't that sharp, they're
Yeah.
going to be way more aggressive. Like,
Well, they can't give away the store. They can't just
Yeah.
if they got somebody who's coming in, they might say, "Okay, man, we're not gonna kick you out, but 5K, that's that, or 3K or whatever they want to do."
or but if it's the Super Bowl, they'll say, I don't care what you can bet $1 million on the Super Bowl. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Like the line's so
Right,
tight at that
right,
point, like they
right.
don't care.
Exactly, and they'll gamble.
Yeah.
Solo cups.
Oh, they're asking
Yeah.
you to bring back the red Solo cups.
Oh, really?
We can play some
Did
flip
they?
cup here.
Wait. Did they ever go away? These
Not
are-
for them.
Hey, I forget.
Oh no, these guys have nice glasses.
This has
You
our
have your
name
name
on
on
it.
it?
Andrew's
Yeah.
covering his
Oh.
glass like he's about to get roofied.
I
He's
love
like,
that. I'm inviting it. I'm like, shoot him in here. It's gonna be
he's
a
like, I
fun
don't know about
night. Yeah.
Jorge. What's he got over in his pocket? Andrew's like, hey, what are you guys doing?
George, please roof it.
Yeah. It's like,
I'll be
let's,
fine.
let's have some fun.
Yeah, I used to do that to myself in party.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm not looking.
Somebody had an
Little
interesting
Cosby.
question, and since you're here, George, you might want to weigh in on this one, which
Uh-oh.
says, do you think there's going to be any scandals at the World Series of Poker this year like there was last year?
I mean,
Oh wait, let me add. I've seen a couple of things where people say these new rules are terrible. What are they talking about? No using the GTO? Or
they're
what?
banning phones, I think, at the last 3 tables completely, unless you're in a WSOP online event. So how are they going to monitor that? They're probably not. A very bad look for a guy that's a pro poker player to be checking with his rail and another World Series of Poker main event champion against like an amateur guy heads up. It's just it was a bad look for them. Like, they're trying to
That's what
squeeze.
happened
They're
last
trying to
year in the main
squeeze
event.
every percent of every fractional edge, which they shouldn't be allowed to do that. I don't think. But
That was last year, and when
Yeah.
it got to heads up.
Yeah.
Right when it was going on.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're checking with they're running simulations through the computer. They're checking.
So no more of that crap.
No,
Like,
that's a
use your
good
brain,
rule.
yeah.
But yes, there will be a scandal. There always is. Like
Yeah.
5 years ago, the guy took his shoe off and threw it at the dealer, and then stood on the table, got naked, and then like got tackled. I don't even. It's like some Russian idiot. I don't even.
Really?
Who would,
Sounds like a third.
I got
I
naked?
don't know.
who would tackle a naked guy?
Yeah.
Maybe boxers. I sure as hell would. Boxers. Yeah,
Let's
I
throw
gotta
another
tell
shoe
you.
back at him.
They're just wild stories. Like, it's completely insane. There was the fake shooting a couple of years ago, I think first year at Paris. People thought there were shots fired. Remember the strip, shots fired, and everyone was running from like MGM all the way.
remember
It
that,
went
yeah.
all the way to the North Strip, and my buddy was there, and he's like, I thought there was a shooting, and people fled out of the poker room.
crazy.
People were hiding. Like, yeah, there'll be some weird stuff this year.
Did you guys hear about that? Like, I think it was not checkers. It was chess tournament. Some guy apparently had. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, the anal beads.
Yeah, the anal beads that vibrated.
Vibrating.
So I guess that was my question. Like, if it's televised live and people can see everyone's cards, what's stopping me from telling George? I'm like, bzz, bzz, hey, don't do it.
Michael!
And 2 more just for fun.
Oh gosh.
Stop it, George! Stop it!
2 more for fun.
Just because you're my homie. Excuse Give it 2 more.
You son of a bitch! Stop that.
You know, there's a bunch of stories out there where guys used to wear computers playing blackjack with perfect, play computers,
Yeah.
and with roulette for prediction. And there's a lot of stories out there about those things like getting on fire and stuff, and they're like at the table, and they're like, "Holy Christ!"
His sleeves on
I
fire.
gotta go to the bathroom really bad.
Like drag him in the back. Yeah.
There's a bunch of stories about that.
That's interesting.
Because they used to do that, and that was the technology was it was
That's like
early,
casino. You can keep the money and get the hammer.
Yeah,
You can
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So now that's a felony. So you can't do. I mean, anyone who does that now has got big balls. I mean, you don't want to do that. But to use a device.
That's the thing. When you come to Vegas and try to rip the casino off, I think you get like, if you did it in another state, you're gonna get like maybe one of these. You do it here, they're like, you're going to jail for 5 years.
86.
Like they're killing people in court. Like, oh, that's fraud. 5 years in federal prison. Like, what? Yeah. So they don't mess around here.
George, what about the rest of the whole poker ecosystem? Like during the World Series, is this going to be? I mean, do people want to go to other places? There's going to be other tournaments going on.
Same as
They all
like,
try
yeah,
to jump on it.
still healthy. Wynn runs a great series. Planet Hollywood opened a new room. Venetian opened a new room.
Yeah, have you been to the Venetian room?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Is it nice? What about the Aladdin? The new Aladdin? Oh, not Aladdin.
Yep.
Planet Hollywood used to be Aladdin.
Been there. They have it upstairs where the London Club was, where they used to run the tournaments up the escalators.
That's right. You wrote to me and said, "Let's go play some poker." I'm like,
Anthony's like, it takes 7 hours. I don't have any advantage. Rah, 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 rah.
and I'm not.
Get off my lawn.
And I'm not good. And I'm too skinny.
I mean,
I'll perish at the table.
yeah, see, Pat75 says, I play non-Hold'em variants. Hold'em has gotten silly with the RTA, which is real-time assistance, which means people cheating online with their computers.
Right.
Wow.
We use the same language as Blair. Not a good look for poker.
No, it's terrible look. I mean, you got some nerd checking his computer simulation, like in real time, cheating like a recreational guy that made it to heads up.
Or just another guy. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
just
yeah,
another
it's
player.
just-
Like you shouldn't have the.
Yeah. Poker's hard enough. You don't want to be playing against computers and bots. Like online poker is kind of dead, I think.
We had that conversation last year, and here's what it came down to. I was like, if it's legal, then do it. But it shouldn't be legal. You know what I mean? If it's legal and one guy does it and the other doesn't, well, that guy's dumb. You know, I mean, if you can do it, then
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
But it should be.
That was the problem. Is that was technically legal what they're doing.
Right,
It
exactly.
shouldn't have been legal, but it was legal. So they kind of took advantage of the rules.
Yeah.
It's like a big, huge gray area.
Well, that was Frank B's point, and I'll never forget it because I learned a lot when Frank B said, if you enter a competition, first thing you do is go through the rules and fucking
right.
know it.
He's right.
We did that. That's what we
Yeah.
used to do when we all played together. And we do that now. When Frank and I do things, we read the rules inside and out. We
Yeah.
know what we can and can't do. And if we're going to shoot an angle that's legal, that makes us smarter.
Right.
You know, it's like we're smart enough to do that where they aren't.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did that at the Stratosphere tournament.
I was just
that
thinking
won.
that. Yeah.
I mean, I did something that I just knew the rule, and even the guys running it didn't, and I gave myself an either way.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do.
Right.
DJ, a hot dog is not a sandwich. Just stop. Just stop, please. How's this even a debate? It's definitely not a sandwich. We'll do that quickly.
What did he say? Well,
He
read
said,
it.
"Is a hot dog a sandwich?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, it's definitely not
I
a
love that
sandwich."
debate 'cause
I
I mean,
agree.
has anyone
Yeah.
said yes? Who's ever said yes to that?
I agree. Not a sandwich.
Not even close.
And that should be outlawed also from the
Calling it
World
a
Series
sandwich.
of Poker.
Yeah.
How about $9 bananas? They're charging like $9 for.
Kick DJ out for that question.
Why did he even ask?
Hey Anthony, I have a question for you. So someone asked recently what you thought was better, Caesars or MGM as a rewards program, and that kind of sparked something that I've had in my head. I think Caesars is better for someone just starting off, and maybe you have a different opinion. But in general, I have a feeling for Las Vegas, like the sentiment that I have, that Vegas is pricing out the average Joe, like anyone who's like middle America, whatever, and younger people as well, because that's also included. Even if you're maybe if you're from a well-off family, no. But if you're just the average college student, you're not gonna have a ton of money. So I have a feeling that Vegas is kind of shooting itself on the foot, and like just like picking up a quarter
Yeah.
right now.
I agree with that 100%. And that's another thing we talk about with Jocelyn next week. I mean, we have a whole section on that interview that we call, the gouge. And like,
$24 minibar waters aren't a good deal, guys.
we asked them about the gouge. To go back to which one I think is
So
better,
stupid.
I don't know because I'm not a high level in either one of those, Caesars and MGM. But I would guess, boy, that's tough.
I got this.
Go,
On the face of it, without the multipliers, MGM's better. If you take advantage of the Caesars multipliers, which I don't even know if MGM does, but you can get 10x multiplier days. Caesars is probably better, but overall, MGM's better than Caesars for sure because Caesars has just run themselves into the ground.
That's good.
I
Good
mean,
information.
I
but-
got the credit card reads. I have both of the credit cards, so to
which
see
is
what
a
the
smart,
benefits
which
are.
is a smart way to go.
Yeah, and
Free parking.
Yeah.
I got free parking, but I also got $100 of like hotel credit for Caesars, and I also because I spend I use that card for anything like my YouTube videos. If I spend I get 5,000 points, I get a night at any Caesars property really.
If you know how to work it, I mean, it's like
So I
at the
think
end,
that's
every
way
year,
more value than I've gotten from MGM.
Yes.
Every year they have
Yes.
something called Zorkfest here in town. Usually it's here in town, and they talk about it's miles and points. And I usually go there and have a session where I talk. And these are smart people that know how to use their credit cards and their frequent flyers and all this stuff. Same thing with a players club. If you're a player of any consequences, you play X amount. There's all kinds of plays and moves.
Oh,
like like George is saying, you want to play on the multiple days, multiple point days and all that kind of stuff. Back to the gouge. It was a fascinating discussion with Jonathan Jossel, where he brought up some really interesting points that I actually hadn't considered, that were in favor of the casinos, not necessarily gouging, although they are gouging. But watch that next week and listen to Jonathan. He's got some good points.
Listen, we have to bust your balls. I almost forgot.
Oh God,
I almost forgot.
too skinny.
Oh, this is far worse. Anthony, tell them about your trip back to Detroit via Orlando, which I looked at you like you were a freaking insane person and said, don't do that. And you're like, I'm saving $75. Tell them where you spent the night.
Actually, I was saving $96.
That's not bad.
I spent the night in a chair at the Denver airport, and there was no way to get comfortable unless you lay on the ground. And a bunch of other people who did stupid shit like me were laying on the ground. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I stayed in the chair, and I took out dirty laundry that I was bringing home and put it behind my head, so I had a pillow. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Rule 1 is never take a stop. And were you on Spirit and Frontier? You
Frontier.
never do that on Spirit and Frontier. That's just asking to get
I'll tell you,
your head beat in.
Frontier was brutal. I had the same thing. I've done this many times. I've taken connectors. I've done everything. I go for the lowest price. That's what I do. It's my job. I'm supposed to be like that.
Don't do it, guys.
Spirit also on the way out. Spirit, we missed the flight because Spirit was late. I missed the connector, and Spirit was awesome. They fixed it. Frontier was brutally bad. Brutally bad. I'm sorry. I know it's a one-off. It's a
No,
one-off.
Frontier's the worst airline in the country for sure.
It's just because Spirit has that bright yellow that
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
it seem like it's less valuable, but yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, as a gambler, if you're talking about taking a nonstop flight,
Non-stop's the key.
you're reducing risk.
Yes, non-stop's the key. You have to go point to point on those discount
Well, you
carriers.
gotta-
You can't build stops into those.
You
It's
have
a
to take
disaster.
the gamble
It's-
though,
They didn't have
because
any
Spirit,
stuff.
although the likelihood of it messing up is higher, it is cheaper, way
Well,
cheaper. So it's like
listen-
a
Listen, guys, it's all an EV equation. All
Yeah.
right? You put it. That's what advantage gambling is. You make equations. People ask me, what does it take to be a winning gambler? I go, it takes two things. You have to understand. You have to be able to make equations, right? So you have to know algebra. So you've got to be able to make
out.
equations, and you have to have a somewhat of an understanding. The more, the better of probability, right? But back to the algebra, you make equations, you assign a value to everything. What are the chances that I get delayed, and what will that cost me? Multiply those two.
60,
that
80%.
becomes that becomes the variable that goes in, and I did that equation. I liked what I did. It just didn't work out. You don't always win.
You took the odds.
Night flights on Spirit and Frontier with a stop. You are not going to like your life. But hey, I said I'd be your travel agent for free.
Yeah, I'm kind of
You just
liking
let me
this,
know.
this
You're all
gambling
right.
talk.
It's fun.
Yeah, let's go gamble after this.
What do you think, Tanya? Where
Go
we
to the
at?
Rio.
Do it.
Yeah.
Go to the Rio.
The Rio's right
I'm
around
down,
the
baby.
corner.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Best video
Can
poker
I get
in
a hard
town.
4, hard 8?
Any last second? We're 10 over, man. Any?
See, Spirit kills it. This guy Beans says 241. Spirit kills it. Frontier is trash. We all saw the Frontier video about the ladies like mocking the guy. You're man, I missed your flight. Yeah, that's tough. Spirit kills it point to point. I would say you don't want to take a layover on Spirit either. That's bad, especially late in the day. The later in the day it is, the worse it is.
You know, it's funny when we do the live on the Beer Fridays, we end up with about 5,000 people watching.
Yeah.
Which is less, like about maybe 60% of what we get, regular, and we get the best information on these sort of. I mean, because you get especially when we have other people, you get the wisdom of crowds, you get more information.
Well, your Zorkfest people would have been pissed at you, considering you were an attendee at Zorkfest.
Oh,
They
I
would have
can't-
never. You can't. They're gonna grill you
No,
if they ever.
I can't
if
wait
they
to
know.
tell the story because of the EB equation.
We had him on the show.
equation indicated a play that I made.
We had the guy
That
from
was-
Zorkfest on a live stream. one
Anthony's like, this is plus $90 EV, and I'm like, nah, you're about minus 300 when you're sleeping in the airport.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't plus 90. It was about plus 30 or something,
Oh,
and that's
God.
what I did with variance.
I
right?
said,
So that was it.
no, you're not a poor. You don't have to take these flights. I told him.
How do you know?
I'm in the lap of luxury here, boys. What do you think?
All right, thanks to everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Well, hold on, this one has to be
Okay.
because it's in regards to the math talk. And the guy goes, does Anthony get nerdier as he gets drunker? I think he's regarding all
Listen,
the math
Pat.
talk of the EV and like.
Pat will not know this, and no
Yeah.
one will know this. Anthony is a high-powered athlete back in the day.
A lot of people.
I
know
was
that.
stunned
Really?
to know that.
I
Pat,
don't know
Pat
that.
obviously doesn't know.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know.
What kind of athlete?
Sub 11 second 100-meter
Oh, that's
guy.
right, yeah.
What? All-state wrestler, college wrestler,
Collegiate wrestler, yeah.
Oh, wow.
like
Second,
legit athlete, man.
well, that's why I went back to
Rugby
Detroit.
player.
Yeah.
And rugby, too?
Yeah, that's why I went back to Detroit. My high school wrestling coach was inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame.
There you go.
Right?
Wow.
All right, I'm going to tell this last damn story.
Let's
Even
go.
though
Going over.
Beer
Salute.
Fridays, baby.
Salute.
Cheers,
Salute.
cheers,
Salute.
cheers.
Salute.
Hey.
Cheers, cheers,
Good
cheers.
job.
Okay, so. Okay, everyone who watches this a lot is sick of me hearing me say this. I was a pretty good wrestler. I took second in the state in Michigan. My coach was a legendary coach in Michigan. Was being inducted to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. National. I mean, like not like chicken shit stuff. I mean, big deal. So I go back for that because this guy had a lot to do with my confidence and my success in my life, and made me what I don't know, he helped me a lot. I wanted to be there for him. So I get there, and I've almost never been in a room where I've been so inconsequential as a wrestler with all these guys. They were so great. They were like state champions everywhere and national champions and Olympic guys and everything else, right? So I'm just like nobody, right? I'm a peon. And one of the guys who was being inducted, his guy who was introducing him goes, he was this and he was this and he's a two-time national champion. He was on the Olympic team, but he's also this Renaissance man who's done this and this and this. And he's even been thrown out of 3 or 4 Las Vegas casinos for card counting. All right, so then my coach gets up and he goes, let me tell you about our guy. And he introduces me and the whole thing, right? And he talks about the whole thing. He goes, he's been thrown out of 3 or 4. He goes, I think we got you beat on this one.
Yeah.
And so he did the whole thing and everybody was clapping. So I went from totally inconsequential to being like sort of kind of somebody.
It's hilarious.
That's funny, yeah.
And it was fun. It was great to see Pat Wyke is his name, Whizzer they call him. That's a wrestling move called the Whizzer. Pat Whizzer
Yeah.
Wyke, and Pat, here's to you. Thank you. And
Cheers to Pat. And
Cheers to all the old Detroit
Pat the
homies.
Wizard.
The
Yeah,
old
Pat and the
Detroit
Chat as
wrestling
well.
homies.
Yeah.
All right.
The wizard.
thank you to all the people. Thanks for listening to our stories over and over again, especially mine. And we're good, eh?
Yeah. Thanks for answering the question about Circa.
Yeah, they'll let you play at Circa. They may not let you play huge numbers, but I think they let everybody. $500, whatever.
Yeah. Thank you, DJ Hancock. Nice comment. Thank you. Franklin Campos for being an LVA member since the 90s.
Wow.
What position? Rugby.
Yeah, they wanted.
Anthony's obviously a prop. He's 5'9", 140.
They were saying
Winger.
When I played, I was
Fullback.
I was 160. I was fullback.
Yeah, winger,
man.
fullback. Yeah, there you go.
Badass fullback, bro.
Told you guys. Listen, that's something you guys didn't know about Anthony. Athlete.
if they watch the show, they know because he talks about it.
Oh, he's been bragging on himself. I was going to come in here and
We've
pump
done
him up.
200 episodes. There's a lot of information.
Eventually they come out.
She makes fun of me, calls me Uncle Rico. I'm like, I could kick this
You
football
told the
over that
story
mountain.
once on LVA
Yeah, I know where that's from.
where you rode a bicycle for 10 miles, or it was 100
Oh, that was
miles
a horrible
on a
one.
bike.
I got
You crashed the car.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. I was like a dog, like trying to drink water.
Oh,
on
what, in your
top.
freaking wrestling suit?
No.
In the plastic suit?
All right,
Singlet.
we're done.
Yeah.
Close this out. We're done. Thank you, everybody.
Cheers.
Peace.
Jeez, guys, thanks. That was awesome.
That was really
There we
fun.
go. We got
Yeah.
George. We got
So
YouTube
much-
celebrity up in this house.